Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we shall be looking at how to generate a structured output from your LLM. So earlier now what we have been doing is when we make query you're going to generate a string from the LLM. So what if you want to strip out all the unnecessary data and maybe get a structured output from the LLM? So what's a structured output? A structured output is getting something like a dictionary or a JSON. All right, so getting something like a JSON structured data from the LLM so that you can actually maybe use it to equate to for a particular thing. So this is what you're going to be looking at today. So the LLM can actually give you a structured data apart from giving you a string. So we're going to look at how you can generate a structured data from the LLM. All right, so first of all, we're going to import our chat block from LangGraph block, LangChain block, import the load.env and OS. Then we are initializing the LLM. We are working with OpenAI GPT OSS 120B parameter model. All right, so we're going to initialize the model. So while this is running, let's look at what we want to do here now. So earlier before now, what we have been generating is just a test. So we're going to look at how you can actually get a structured output. All right, so um, look at this test that we'll have here now. Okay, so this test said Felix is 25 years old, software engineer who builds AI system. Now we want to extract the name, the age, and then the occupation from this test. All right, so to get a structured output from an LLM query or from the LLM, so what you will do is to develop a schema. So it is called a schema. So that schema is always a Pydantic schema. Okay, so from Pydantic we are going to be installing BaseModel. So um, if you don't have Pydantic in your system, you need to install Pydantic by saying pip install. Okay, let me add this as a comment. Pip install Pydantic, just like this. Alright, so pip install Pydantic, then you'll be able to install Pydantic. Alright, then from Pydantic, we'll be importing the base model. So this base model is a base class that has been developed for defining schemas. Alright, so um, any of your schemas shall be inheriting from the base model. Okay, that's why we are creating a schema called info and it's inheriting the base model. So once it inherits the base model, it has all the attributes. So Pydantic is actually used because it works seamlessly for both data validation and a lot of things. So that's why we're using Pydantic here. So we're not defining these other keys here: the name, the age, and the occupation. All right, so let's run this particular line and then let's run the schema. Now, since we already have the schema, I want the LLM to extract these data from any text. All right, what would the LLM to extract this particular data from any text? So what we're going to do is we're going to pick our LLM, which we have defined here. All right, so we're now saying LLM info is equals to LLM dot with structured output. We are now passing this schema. So we are binding this schema to our LLM using this method with structured output. So what this thing will do is to bind this schema to this LLM, which is what it will give us here. Now, anytime we are invoking this LLM using this particular one that we'll have here now, it's going to generate a structured output for you. All right. So let's do something here now. So yeah, let's say in LLM info.invoke, we're now saying extract structured output from the text according to the schema. All right, so I've not run this line. Let me run this line now. and then we are passing the test, which is this test that we defined here. All right. So if we run this now, we're going to see what response will give us. So let's run this line of code. And you see the response we got from the LLM now is no more the type of AI message, is now the type of info, because we have changed the schema that the output should be. So it's a type of info, and then we'll be able to see what we'll have here, both the name, the age, and the occupation. All right, so to get the JSON of this particular schema, you say the response.model dump. So when we process response.model dump, we are getting the JSON, you can call it the dictionary. All right, so we have three keys here, which is the name, the age, and the occupation. The name is Felix, age is 25, and then occupation is software engineer. So with this now, you can access each of these individually to be able to get the actual response or actual data that you want to extract from that. So it's no more returning a string. All right, so you'll be able to get the actual data that you need. So I can process response the name, and I'm getting the name. All right, so with this, you'll be able to get the actual data that you need from that particular response. So this is just with a simple schema. This is just with a simple schema. So let's look at something that is a little bit complex. All right, so now to look at what that is complex, I'm going to show us something now. So we are invoking the LLM. Remember, this is the LLM, the main one we define. We've not binded anything to this one now. All right, so the LLM will define here. All right, so and I'm passing this query. I say, what are the specification of iPhone 13 Pro Max? All right, so I'm going to get a whole lot of text here, so to actually show us something. So let me run this code. So after running this code, I'm printing response.content, because it's at the content that you get the actual response. Okay. All right. So these are a lot of details about the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but these details are as a string. So I won't be able to access the actual maybe company or release date, or maybe the processor, or maybe the display, or maybe the design and build. I won't be able to access any of these data because um, they are a string. It has just been passed here as a string. So, but I can generate a schema that can enable me to access each of these data. So we're going to be looking at that schema right now. So to be able to get these things. All right. So to build the schema from Pydantic, we are importing the base model, and then we are importing this field as well. And then from typing, we are importing optional. Okay. So this is where the schema is being built. So this is the main schema here. I will explain this other one. So this is the main schema. This class here, the phone specification. This is the main schema. Okay. So this is the main schema. So inside here now we'll have a lot of keys that we are interested in. We're interested in the brand, the model, the release year, the display, performance, camera, battery, software, connectivity, and price in USD. All right, so let's look at these keys one after the other. So the brand should be a string. All right, so this field here, we are passing the description, what it should be. So manufacturer of the brand. So the model, it should also be a string. Okay, and we are saying the exact model. Then the release year should be integer, and we are saying that it should be optional. So any of the key that has this optional means if this particular value is not available in the data, it's going to skip it, and there will be no error. Okay, so it is optional integer. So if it is not available, it will skip it. So which is the year the phone was officially released. Then the display is now a type of display spec. Okay, is a type of display spec. So this is a custom class that was displayed, that was designed above here. So let's look at it. So this is the display spec. Okay, so that means this display will be holding whatever data that this has. So inside the display, we should have the size in inches, the type, the resolution, and the refresh rate. Okay, so these are the data that should be inside the display. Then for performance, it will also be holding the type of performance. Okay, so now let's look at performance. So this is performance. We look at the chipset, the CPU, the GPU, the RAM in gig, and then the storage in gig. So these are the data for performance. Then for the camera should be holding the camera spec. Okay, the type of camera spec, which was also defined above here. So this is the camera spec. It has two data, which is the rear camera and then the front camera. The rear camera is also of a custom type, which was defined here. And then the front camera is type of float and is also specified as optional. So this is the rear camera. So the rear camera has the main megapixel, the ultra wide megapixel, and the telephoto megapixel. All right, so these are their description so that it will actually know the actual data to extract. So you can actually see how we are having um, a model inside a model. Do you understand? So it's a bit complex, and you will see how the LLM will be able to extract all the necessary data that are needed, and will be able to populate all this. All right. Then the battery is also type of the battery spec. So this is the battery spec having two keys, which is the capacity and then the charging. So, and this is optional int and optional string. So that means this will be a string and this will be an int. Okay. Then the software, which type of software? Then let's go and look at software. It has only one key, which is the OS. All right, and it's a string. Then the connectivity, which is a type of connectivity spec. So this is the connectivity spec. We'll talk about the network, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the USB. So you see that this schema has all the data that we will need to extract from this particular string that the LLM was generating here. Okay. So, and then lastly, the price, which is a float and optional. All right. So let's run this schema now. So with this schema now, this is the main schema. So we'll be able to extract these advanced data from our LLM. So we're going to bind this schema to the LLM. So we are calling it the phone spec LLM. So we're now saying LLM.restructured output phone spec, which is this phone spec, which is this schema now. So let's run this. And then what we're going to do now is to compile a query, which is the same query I had above. What are the specifications of iPhone 13 Pro Max? And I'm passing this query to my LLM using this phone spec LLM, which I declared here. So phone spec LLM dot invoke. I'm passing the query. So now I am passing response dot model dump so that it can actually return a JSON of what we have here. Though before I do that, let me clear this out so that we'll see the type of response that we'll have, whether it's specifically the type of phone spec. All right, so let's run this, and then you see we'll have the type of phone spec. So if we process response the model dump, then this is the JSON of that particular data. All right, so this is the brand, the model, the release year, the display. We see that display is holding another dictionary. Performance is holding another dictionary. So let's look at all these data one after the other. So we're going to look at all this data one after the other. So I'm going to say response dot brand to look at the brand. So this is the brand. The brand is Apple. So this is response dot model. So we'll be looking at them one after the other. So look at the model response dot So release year, which is 2021. So, and then the next is the display. Okay, so let's look at response.display. So when we look at display, we see now that the display is a type of display spec. All right, so we can say response.display.model dump, so that we'll be able to get the data in display. And then these are the data in display, and it was able to get all the individual data for us, both the size in inch, the type, the resolution, and then the refresh rate. So this is how we can check all that ones. So let's check the camera now. Okay, so let me check that of the camera. So I can say response dot camera. So okay, there's a mistake here. So this is response.camera. So it's a type of camera spec. All right. So let me say the model dump. And if I run this now, so you see that we'll have the rear camera, which has the main MP, which is 120, 120, 120. So this is how you can actually extract a structured output from LLM. So you can actually build any schema of your choice, and then you'll be able to extract a structured output from the LLM. So if you enjoyed the video so far, like the video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Meanwhile, keep coding.